All right, today I'm going to do a lesson on keyboard shortcuts. And many of you may be using keyboard shortcuts, but probably most of you aren't. So I'm going to try to do this so that you can make it more efficient for yourself when you do this. There's all kinds of universal keyboard shortcuts, and there's going to be the ones that I'm going to talk about most because those are going to be the ones that you're going to use and you're going to be able to work in your daily routine. You certainly don't need to learn all of the keyboard shortcuts that exist, but ones that you use most often. So the first one I'm going to use is a keyboard shortcut with is Control C, which when I highlight this, I want you to watch when I highlight this. I'm going to click and drag to here, and then I'm going to back off. And when I do, if I click on the All Characters key, you'll see that I unhighlighted that paragraph mark because I do not want to copy that. So I'm going to turn that back off again. I'm going to go Control C. Control C is copy, and I'm going to go Control V to paste. It pastes right over top of itself. And I can go Control V, Control V, Control V, 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 or I can even hold it down and I can copy quite a bit of stuff all at one time. Now, sometimes people like to use Control P and they think P for paste, but Control P is actually a keyboard shortcut for print. So you can get to the print dialog box. So because it's used already, we go Control C to copy, Control V right next to it to paste. And then if you decide you don't want something, you can always go Control X and get rid of things. So if you have something highlighted and you want to get rid of it, you can go Control X, and that's cut. So you have cut, copy, and paste all next to each other. So Control X. And then if you say, oh no, I didn't mean to do that, you can say Control Z. Control Z is undo. And undo is a good one because you can say, oh no, what have I done? And you can say, oh, what have I done? Control Z will undo what you've done so you can undo your mistake. Okay? So I've got cut, copy, and paste, and then Control Z for undo. Control P, we already said, is print. Control O, you can open an already existing document, so that's a handy one to use. Control Q is quit. Now, it doesn't work on Microsoft Word, but it works for so many other applications that it's certainly worth using. So if Q is quit, Control W is similar, is do you want to close? So quit is Q and close is W. Now, Control W only works in some applications, but it does work in Microsoft Word, and it's worth it. So again, I don't want to take my hands off the mouse, so what can I do here? Well, already you can see that save is the default dialog, the default choice because it's got that heavy outline around that. We talked about that being the default choice. I could just click enter and save, but I don't want to save. So have you ever noticed that the letter S and the letter N is underlined? Anytime you see an underlined word, all you have to do is say no. And I'm going to say N for don't save, and it closes it. Control N creates a new blank document. Control N. Okay? I'm going to paste what I had before. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say Control A is select all. Now I have it all selected. If I go Control S, I can save an already existing document. We're saving a document that I'm working on right now. Control S is save. So if I'm working on it and I make some more changes and I go like this, I can just go Control S and it will go to save it again. I don't need to save this document, so I'm not going to do that. All right. There are some other ones that come in handy a lot. Let's say I copy all of this and I've got a whole bunch, and on one of these pages that I have here, I'm going to say skipped. No, skipped over the lazy dog. So then I don't know where I did that, so I'm going to go up to the top. If I go Control F and I find SKIP, you can see there I have found that word on whatever page it happened to be, so you can find it quickly. That also works really well in Microsoft. On a web browser. If I decide what do whales eat, I can click on this. I know you guys don't like to read, and so I can look here and go scroll down and scroll down and scroll down and try to find out what you eat. Most of you guys leave at this point, but if I go Control F and I look for eat, You can see that there are 15 of these occurrences on the page, and I can find out what do whales eat. But if I want to narrow it down even more, because it also might find the word wheat, W-H-E-A-T. So let's put space. So I have space, E-A-T, space. Now I've narrowed it down to 3 choices, and I can come down to and find out that whales eat both fish and small crustaceans. And so I can find that answer much faster. So that Control F really comes in handy. Okay, back to Microsoft Word. Another ones that are specific to just few programs. It's not all programs like these other ones are, but ones that you use most often. If I highlight it, Control U will underline, U for underline. If I highlight and go Control I is italics, and I can go Control B for bold and make something bold. And so that's kind of handy because I don't even have to take my hands off the mouse to do that. Okay, so those are some universal keyboard shortcuts.